Bulls fans are livid at the potential things we will do at the draft tonight, and can they fully trust this new front office to get the job done? Hi, I am Shaq Barnes here. Another episode of Bulls Digest, the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls. I have noticed that 6-7% of you guys have been watching the channel, have not been subscribed. Make sure you guys treat it like the Bulls intro and run right through that subscribe button. You know how I do videos. I don't like to waste you guys' time. Let's get right into what's going on. It's draft day, everybody. The draft is here. We seeing all the different scenarios, trades, rumors that's been going on. One about Kobe White, but it doesn't matter because draft night is here. Possible moves could come for the Chicago Bulls. Yes. Could they make the right move? Maybe. And this is what we're gonna really break down and talk about because it's a lot of great players that could be available. You see Ace Bailey possibly might move down should the Bulls trade up and get Ace Bailey. You also got Derek Queen, who's been on the Bulls' radar. You also got Jace Richardson. You also got the Koolman, the center from Duke. Obviously, the Bulls might need a big, but it also just depends on what could be available. Is Vucevic going to get traded or not? So when we look at players like an Ace Bailey, Ace Bailey is a top 3 talent. Obviously, he has been making noise because he had not worked out with no teams, but he really just doesn't want to go to Philadelphia. Maybe because he want to be the first guy on the team when you want to lead a team. Chicago Bulls could be in that play. I think if Ace Bailey falls, and you gotta take that opportunity to possibly trade up, don't be scared to take that chance. Then we also got a guy like Derek Queen, who's a skilled big man who fits the dynamic of what the Chicago Bulls need. Maybe you should just go for what the fit of everything that you need with this current roster with this team with Derek Queen. And I think Derek Queen could be a great asset to the Chicago Bulls, just like Ace Bailey could be a great asset to the Chicago Bulls. I don't think AK and the guys, they should not overthink this at all. We have made a lot of mistakes when it comes to draft day things, and we definitely gonna go down memory lane a little bit, not too much because it's draft day. I want it to be a good day for us. It's a good move. So I just want the two things that I really want the front office to do. If a great player like an Ace Bailey is available or has slipped or has dropped, you take that chance on a top 3 prospect and you don't question it at all. Then you go with a guy like Derek Queen, where he's a skilled player at a position that you need or at a position that you want to add to. You go do that. Don't overthink this. You ask for our patience, AK. You ask for the Bulls fans to trust the process. Whatever you got going on, because last time you said trust the process, it ain't going too well. But you want us to be on this roller coaster, which we don't want a roller coaster. You want a straight shot. We want a direction. Tonight is the night when you set the foundation for the direction of what the Chicago Bulls team is going to be in the future. Because if we actually kind of had a foundation set with the Eastern Conference being as wide open as it is right now, we could probably be in play or making a move to be in play, but we're not there yet. So tonight is the night to show what direction that we are going in, and we need to stick to it. Now, I said let's go down memory lane. The reason why I'm saying these things that I'm saying, because the Bulls have made a lot of draft day mistakes in history. Like I said, I'm not gonna go too far down memory lane, right? I mean, I'm gonna go down memory lane, but I'm not gonna go down all 10. It's just a couple that I really wanted to point out, and this will tell you what I'm talking about. Number 1 on the list. Who remember Denzel Valentine? Imagine, I was high on Denzel Valentine because he was at Michigan State, and I like Michigan State to college. I was like, oh yeah, we getting a Michigan State guy. He's balling out. He gonna fit right in with the Bulls, and it didn't work out. Denzel Valentine was more than a bust, I should say. It was bad. It was bad with Denzel Valentine. We can all agree with that. We're disturbed. Denzel Valentine was even this time with the Bulls. It was that bad. It got so bad with Denzel Valentine that he went and did the Drew League. And the guy who was the T-Mobile worker got famous off cooking him. And he said he couldn't believe this guy was in the league. Next up, yeah, 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 guys. Now, the only pass that I will give the Chicago Bulls for the Patrick Williams situation is this. Patrick Williams was during COVID year. Nobody couldn't really develop and like see what was going on, develop a great idea about what process. Again, you couldn't really do the workout process. So the Bulls kind of get a pass for this. But where the pass goes away is when you give him an extension and he has not shown anything. Patrick Williams, could he still be a solid player? Maybe. Do I see a star? Do I see the Paul, the Kawhi, what they sold me off of? No, it is long gone. And this was coming from the point of where you didn't want. This was a draft year where you did want to take a risk. You just took what you thought that you needed, and you kind of probably took a guy higher than what you supposed to took him. So don't be scared to take that risk to go get a player that you need, but don't overshoot for a player that a position that you got for a position you need, and just trade back. And you can still get your player. Get assets when you go get a player like this. That's the lesson that I want the Bulls to learn. So, AK, when you seeing this is you. Learn different lessons from what happened with you in the past. So when a Patrick Williams situation occur again, where it's a guy that you know you want, which the Bulls haven't talked about a guy in the second round who they want, and they can go trade back, get assets, and still get that same guy. Now, speaking of trading, you remember when this one happened? The Bulls had Yusuf Nurkic and Gary Harris and traded for Doug McDermott. Doug McDermott was a hot name. And I know I get it where everybody be like, oh, see, like the Ace Bailey thing. Doug McDermott wasn't the top 3 prospect. But don't overshoot. Don't overshoot for it. So you could end up with a Doug McDermott situation where you trade for a guy with a popular name, but the productivity ain't really showing as much as it should be. Then you overshoot and you miss out on 2 great players. I'm cool with the shot to get Doug McDermott. I'm not cool with giving up Nurkic and Gary Harrison. Don't oversell yourself. I don't want the Bulls to really be moving assets like that. I really don't. We should be only receiving assets, bringing assets in. We shouldn't be losing no draft picks, nothing. We trade Vooch. We should not have to send out a pick to trade Vooch. At the end of the day, we're not doing that. If anything, we getting what we supposed to get out from a team. And then the last one. This one is the other one. And remember in 2006 when we had LaMarcus Aldridge in the bag, here, signed, sealed, delivered, and we traded him for Tyrese Thomas and another player that you wouldn't even remember who that other player was, how bad he was. So don't make the math as hard as it gotta be. You end up getting the top prospect player. Take that player. Do not go trade that player. Take the player. LaMarcus Aldridge. Clear was one of the guys. Tyrese Thomas was solid, athletic, cool. But when you know your guy is there and you got the guy, just take the guy. Just take the guy. So it's lessons in every different way scenario. So I know what you're saying, SB, Shaq. How can the Bulls get it right? They messed up in every which situation, but every situation had a story. The LaMarcus Aldridge situation, he was the top prospect at that time. You shouldn't have had trading him down anyway, because the assets that you got for him in totally was not worth losing on that LaMarcus Aldridge. Doug McDermott, you went for the hot name, but you overshot on the trade. I think you just gave up a little too much. Obviously, Yusuf Nurkic and Gary Harris wasn't like all-time great stars, but let's be real. For what we got from Doug McDermott, it wasn't worth giving up all that. I would have maybe just the Yusuf Nurkic maybe could have been nice, but Gary Harris probably could have been solid for the Bulls. I think one of the players would have done. So don't give up too much when it comes to getting trading up for that guy. Patrick Williams, when you got a guy that you know you want and he fits your scheme, don't trade down, trade back, get some assets. You know the guy's still gonna be there. But like I said, I still get a Bulls pass for this one because it was COVID year. You couldn't really see everything with the players. And then the Denzel Valentine was Let's just don't crap out. This was just a bad roll of the dice. It's nothing bad with this story. It's nothing I can even add to this, even make it something. But just don't roll the dice bad. Hopefully. It's been Shaq Barnes here with another great episode of Bulls Digest. Don't want to spot for everything Chicago Bulls. Comment down below. Who do you want to see the Chicago Bulls draft tonight? And who would not want to see the Chicago Bulls draft tonight? And we will see you guys later today when we find out who is the new Chicago Bulls. Or maybe a trade can happen too. Peace.